From Daredevil being a potential mentor to Captain America teaming up with Peter, fans are pitching multiple options for Peter Parker's next mentor after No Way Home. Peter has always been able to look up to a more mature figure, but after the events of Spider-Man No Way Home in Phase 4,
his arms as Doc Ock were puppeteered by 4 different people, and in this film they're entirely CG. And he absolutely loved it. Like, put him in a harness, he was the happiest guy on set. And they had this rig called a toothpick rig, which is like a long bar with a platform, and then it's weighted on the other side.
someone will need to step in to fill this role. Who then might he look up to as a potential new guide? Daredevil is the first to come to mind. Spider-Man has worked with many other Marvel Comics heroes throughout the years, but after meeting in Daredevil, the two quickly became good friends. They both protect the streets of New York in secret and wear red costumes, but the parallels don't end there. This bond would lead to numerous adventures, including a 2001 Daredevil Spider-Man crossover in Marvel Comics. Now that Matt Murdock has been introduced to the MCU, Daredevil could serve as a mentor to Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the future. Murdock, played by Charlie Cox,
a huge shout out to the Save Daredevil folks, because really they went to work and they didn't give up on that dream, you know. And there was a long period of time where I was like, I don't think it's gonna happen, guys. It's really emotional. To be given this.
Debuted in the Marvel television Netflix series Daredevil, and then made cameo appearances in Spider-Man No Way Home and She-Hulk Attorney at Law, before embarking on his own mission in Phase 5's Daredevil Born Again. Although Matt Murdock won't remember who Peter Parker is thanks to Doctor Strange's spell, a strong bond between the two has been established thanks to his previous appearance as Parker's lawyer in No Way Home. A second option would be Captain Marvel. In the comics, Peter Parker and Carol Danvers have a tangled working relationship. The age gap between Spider-Man and Captain Marvel makes it unlikely that they'll ever date in the MCU, despite the fact that they dated briefly during a 2009 series. Nonetheless, Captain Marvel and Spider-Man shared a moment on the battlefields in Avengers Endgame, and it's likely that Danvers even knows who Peter Parker is, which might bode well for Parker's mentor in the future. Thanks to her immense strength, she may have been able to resist Doctor Strange's effect in Spider-Man No Way Home, which means she might remember who Peter Parker is. The unlikely duo of Spider-Man and Deadpool could work too, thanks to the mutual respect between the two throughout the course of Marvel Comics' 50-issue Spider-Man Deadpool series. Seeing this dynamic in the MCU could be an appropriate next step for Spider-Man after No Way Home, because of how well these two characters complement each other despite their seeming differences. With Disney's 2019 acquisition of 21st Century Fox, it was announced that Ryan Reynolds will be transitioning from Fox's X-Men franchise into Marvel Studios' shared universe in Deadpool 3. Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine will be introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the future film.
You are teaming up with Hugh for Deadpool 3.
Yes, I am. Very excited about that. I can't believe that happened.
I mean, that would be that's so fun.
Yeah.
But Wolverine, he's Wolverine.
Wolverine. Yeah, we've figured out a way to do it that's.
Who knows? The Merc with the Mouth may take Spider-Man under his unusual wing in a series of entertaining crossovers. Reed Richards is also a candidate. In Marvel Comics, Spider-Man has a lengthy history with the Fantastic Four, and the 2011 relaunch saw the web-slinger officially join the team. Given that Marvel's first family will make their MCU debut in Phase 6's Fantastic Four, this link suggests Peter Parker may have a future with them. Being that this is expected to come out before Spider-Man 4, the squad may already exist by the time the Wall Crawler returns to the big screen.
What is this guy's problem?
And this will give Parker a whole new group of superheroes to turn to for advice. John Krasinski, star of The Office, had a cameo as a version of Reed Richards in Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, although the official Fantastic Four have yet to be brought to the MCU. Considering how kind Krasinski's Reed Richards was and how he mentioned having children, presumed to be Franklin and Valeria, he may be the ideal future father figure for Peter Parker in the MCU. While it is uncertain whether Krasinski will reprise his role as Reed Richards in the MCU, it's not out of the question that Peter Parker may visit the Baxter Building in search of the world's smartest man in Spider-Man 4. Wolverine could play the mentor role too. Marvel Studios has been dropping hints throughout Phase 4 that Wolverine will be joining the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With Hugh Jackman set to reprise his role as the Clawed Mutant for Fox and Deadpool 3, the arrival of the MCU's official Wolverine seems imminent. A connection between Wolverine and Spider-Man could be unexpected in the MCU, but the Amazing Spider-Man and Wolverine comic from 2010 could provide the right insight into with the dynamics between the two. After a confrontation with the Orb, our two heroes find themselves unexpectedly transported back in time and must fight their way back to the present. Although Hugh Jackman is set to return as Wolverine in Deadpool 3, he will likely be replaced by a new actor in the future of the MCU. Wolverine as Spider-Man's mentor would be an intriguing and somewhat polarizing decision, but the mutant has been shown to care profoundly about the people closest to him, so there may be no better protection for the young hero. It's unclear who will play Wolverine in future MCU films, but with mutants being gradually introduced into the franchise and the X-Men on the horizon, it's feasible that Spider-Man will soon cross paths with the character. Let's just hope Wolverine doesn't keep slashing Spidey's webs. Finally, the man they call Captain America could be the right mentor for Peter Parker moving forward. Young Peter wanted to be like Iron Man in the MCU, as evidenced by his presence in Iron Man 2 at the Stark Expo. But in the comics, Parker wanted to be Captain America. Just like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Captain America: Civil War, Peter Parker's long-running quest to become an Avenger meant he formed a close bond with Steve Rogers' Captain America. But this was put on hold for the events of Civil War when Parker sided with Iron Man and went up against Rogers. The MCU's Rogers and Parker had little in common, but the new Captain America could serve as a good role model for Spider-Man. In Avengers Endgame, Sam Wilson officially accepts his promotion as Captain America after being groomed for the role since the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. As Wilson doesn't have the super soldier serum in his system, the new Captain America in the MCU will likely be a minor hero. Therefore, he might have the most high-profile adventures if he teams up with Spider-Man. Wilson has already proven to be great at building relationships with other heroes, as evidenced by his recruitment of Ant-Man, his cooperation with Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon, and his support for Bucky Barnes' recovery. This means mentoring Peter Parker would be a great next step. With all these candidates out into consideration, the truth might be that Spider-Man does not need a new mentor. It is not necessary for future Spider-Man movies in the MCU to follow the pattern of previous films, in which Parker's mentored by an adult figure. Peter Parker may have just found the impetus he needed to strike out on his own in Spider-Man: No Way Home. Given that Parker matured much throughout No Way Home, standing up to Doctor Strange, protecting the 5 multiversal villains, and even locking Strange up in the mirror dimension for the majority of the adventure, it's possible that Spider-Man no longer requires a mentor. Peter Parker even decided to comply with Doctor Strange's spell and have his closest friends and family forget he ever existed. This restored his incognito and safeguarded his friends' prospects, but at the cost of being all alone in the world. He used to rely on people for missions and technology, but now he has his own police radio scanner and sews his own suit. In fact, Parker may end up mentoring Miles Morales following Spider-Man: No Way Home, as the character's been rumored to join the MCU at that point. Well, folks, that was all for Peter Parker's 6 potential mentors after No Way Home.